Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today is my weekly update along with my weekly weigh-in update along with just what a week it has been. Wow, so much I want to share in this video. I'm gonna actually take a seat for this because I got a lot to share. I got a lot to talk about. But if you're new to my channel, I have lost 90 pounds taking this is a little too close for comfort for me, for taking a GLP-1. So I started taking Mounjaro back in March of 2023. I'm now on compounded tirzepatide. And so I've had this roller coaster of a weight loss journey, really good for the first year and a half. And then I've just been having some ups and downs on it. And I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But this week, where do I begin? So I'm up 2 pounds. We'll start with that because I literally just weighed in. I've avoided weighing in all week. So I was like, well, you know what? You got to shoot this video. You better get on that scale. Don't just get on here and say, I'm not getting on the scale. I'm not going to tell you. So I'm up 2 pounds, but I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse. And I mean that nicely. I had 3 days where I was like the worst 3 days of eating since I've started on this weight loss journey. And it was, don't get me wrong, stuck to my meal plans. I exercise, so I walked every day. I've been hitting my 10K step goal. I'm doing my 4, strength training sessions, 2 upper, 2 lower. So like hydration, my sleep has been really good. Keeping my stress as best as I can, especially with some, family news and then the work situation and everything. But there was moments where I was like, I want Chick-fil-A, and I'd have it. That's not the end of the world. It's really not. Like, that's where people say they got to find that balance of that 80-20 or 90-10, diet. And so it wasn't just that. It was then, I wanted some chocolate, or, I would make a meal and I would have a little bit more, and this isn't terrible, but it all adds up. So I was like, oh, I have a little more, sweet potatoes or regular potatoes or rice. I would just have a little bit more portions of things that I normally would have. And some snacks came in the mix as well. And it was just those 3 days where I was just like, what? I couldn't stop it. I couldn't. And I still have, and I've talked about it many, many times, and that's reality. I have, some issues with some impulse eating. But I wanted to just go over that quickly because the most that I want to talk about in this video is I had a meeting with a health coach. And how I learned about this health coach is that I happened to be on a website looking at a meal delivery service. It's local. I've used them in the past, well before even my weight loss journey, I've used them. Really great meals. And on there, I noticed that they had a health coach also to help you with the meals that you can choose on there. Because what I liked about it is you could order like bulk items, so, just all the chicken or the beef or the shrimp or broccoli, green beans, asparagus, whatever. Or you can create your own meals, or they have seasonal meals. And so I was like, oh, okay, let me sign up for this health coach. And, that 30-minute session, it was complimentary. It felt like longer than 30 minutes. It was such a great conversation. But one thing came out of it that was really interesting to me is that she asked me what my why was. Why did you start, to lose, like what was the reasoning behind you saying now is the time for me to lose weight? What is your why? Why are you still actively trying to lose weight? Not in a negative, like why are you still losing weight, but more of a what keeps you going every single day? And I said to her, I can answer that because I actually do know what that is, but I haven't thought about it in a long time. And my why was really just for my future self. I wanted to do everything I possibly could to, as I age gracefully, age in a healthy way, try to do everything I can to prevent any sort of, my health history is terrible with my family. But like just try to do what I can to prevent any future diseases as I get older, cancers, cardiovascular issues, strokes, heart attacks, etc. And I also explained, what happened prior to it, where like, I was dealing with, my mom was going through a lot with her health. She's doing a lot better now, but prior so we're talking about like 2021, 2022, in and out of the hospital, a lot of little touch and go health moments. That took a toll on me. And, somebody that struggles with their relationship with food and also dealing with that, like I gained a lot of weight, and then I had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, severe migraines, all these different things. And so I said, then, I learned that my aunt had an aggressive form of brain cancer at the end of 2022. And And I just, the more and more that things were happening and my health failing, I was just like, something's got to give. I've got to figure this out. And then my why was for my future self. It's a long way to say it was for my future self. And so I'm talking to her about that. And then also she was asking me about like long-term goals, and then also like just simplifying things, which she said I've been doing a really good job, but I need to do a little bit more in terms of simplifying it, because at the end of the day, I keep seeing that the issue is a lot to do with just my relationship with food, and I'm trying to find ways to repair that. I have a good support system around me, but there might be, you know, a room for me to have some additional specialists, etc. And I've been talking a lot about trying to find those. And so then the meeting ended after she told me what her rate was, and unfortunately she outpriced me. And it was hundreds of dollars. It was expensive. It was very expensive. And I just was like, I love to invest in my future, or as my cup says, my family, invest in yourself. That was something that I was not going to, that was too much for me. And so I learned a lot, and I left saying, you're on the right path, but there's more that you need to do in terms of building that support around you. And so I want to then, before I get back to more of like the next steps, I want to just say, within 24 hours of me being reminded of what my why was, talking about my health struggles, watching my aunt go through an aggressive form of brain cancer, and she has since passed away, and then, you know, some of the things with my mom, I learned that my aunt was in the hospital. They thought possibly like a stroke, something was going on, and they were doing a lot of testing. Unbelievable. Another aunt with the exact same form of brain cancer. Now, I want to point out that sister-in-law, so like my first aunt that I talked about, that's my mom's sister. So for me, when I learned about that, I was thinking genetics and stuff like that, or environmental. Not saying, downplaying. Family's family to me. Family means the world to me, but this is my mom's brother's wife. So from the genetic standpoint, that's out. But I was just like, are you kidding me? Another diagnosis of a rare form of brain cancer hits our family all within 2 years. And I don't want to tie it back to like make it seem like I'm talking about me, but I kind of am, but like, no, I just thought about my why and going back through that. And then I'm just, again, within 24 hours of saying, I got to remember my why, I get hit with the exact same like storyline of another aunt with an aggressive form of brain cancer. And it gave me, one, it's emotional when, you know, a family member is we've already seen one struggle. Like it's the prognosis isn't the greatest. It's a year and a half, 2 years. Like it's not the greatest. And so I was reminded again of why I'm doing what I'm doing, and why I say I don't care how long it takes, and I'm going to have ups and downs, but I'm doing this for my future self to hopefully prevent these things from happening or even lessening them. And so I wanted to just share that, because I think it's really important that we take the time, even if you haven't, to think about what your why is, and remember and remind yourself every so often to go back to that place and remember your why. Maybe you have to slightly update it. That's perfectly fine. But comment below if you've thought about what your why is, or if you haven't, and after, you know, this video, you're going to start giving a little bit more thought. I don't want to ask you to write in the comments what your why is, because I don't know how personal you want to get. You're more than welcome to. I wanted to just share it because I think it's a stark reminder of, it's not just I want to lose weight, or, you know, little tiny goals here and there, you know, for vanity reasons. I want to just look a little bit thinner and the clothes fit a little bit better type of thing. And it's more of just what the future state of me will look like, and setting myself up for success. And so then, excuse my dog. My dog wants you to know also that she thought of her why as well, and she's doing it for more cheese sticks and toys and food and walks, and see, she's talking to us. And so then I want to just quickly take a moment after all of this has happened. Great conversation with my health coach, even though that's not going to come out to play. Thinking about my why, my long-term goals, and just simplifying things, I've realized that even though I have such an unbelievable support system around me, friends, family, coworkers, extension of, you know, friends, it's just, I have unbelievable support. I also have a supportive doctor, but that doctor is not an obesity management specialist. So he's gotten me to this point. And I've mentioned this before, that like, you know, I've had great conversations with him, but we are just making decisions off of, maybe go up, maybe go down. I don't know. Should we just stop it? Should we space? Like, he doesn't have a lot of people on this medication. The last time we might have even talked a little bit about that. He had a handful of people on it, and only like a couple of them found success. The others stopped because of side effects. And so when I try to figure out my next phase in dealing with some of these issues that I'm dealing with, that's not in his wheelhouse, and that's not against him, but that's not his wheelhouse. I can't go to him to talk about nutrition. I can't go to him to talk about impulse eating. I can't go to him and say, you know, is this the right maintenance plan for me? Should I space out my shots? Should I do these different little things? And so I've talked a lot about it. And after everything that has happened this week, I'm not kidding when I tell you, after I heard about my aunt and I just, you know, let it settle, you know, for a couple hours, I went back to the why and I said, you got to find this team to help you in the next stage. And so I went right on that Mochihealth website, that Join Mochi site. I've talked about them before. And I went right on that site and I signed up for that Wellness Plus plan because they are the specialists in the obesity management. They're obesity specialists. They're obesity doctors, the registered dietitians that provide the nutrition counseling based off of, you know, people like me that have struggled with obesity. They now offer therapy. Yes, they do offer GLP-1 medications and the doctor can talk to you about those things, but that's not why I'm using them. I'm using them for these services. I am a firm believer that when you start taking a GLP-1, in this particular case for weight loss, obesity management, that you need to surround yourself with the specialists that'll help you. You need to make the behavioral and lifestyle changes. And I came from a background where I could do that for myself. I knew how to structure different workout plans and eating plans, but at some point it got a little bit, I needed help. I needed to find some resources to help me. It was no longer the doctor was prescribing me medicine. He would check in with my weight. We would do blood work. Everything else, I'm making the decisions. I'm saying, hey, we should maybe go up or down. We're having those little bits of debate, but it's more of like him and I are just kind of bouncing things off of each other instead of like him saying, this is what you need to do. And I'm not saying Mochihealth is going to be like, you must do these things. It's just they have the experience being in this industry for ages. They are the specialists. And so I went online, took me a couple minutes. I signed up for the Wellness Plus plan. I also, this week I have my appointment already with the doctor. And then I have a appointment scheduled with a registered dietitian. And then I still have to do the therapy side of things. I have to get on there and get that set up. All in all, signed up for all of it. It took me like 10, 15 minutes. The longest was me just going, where's my insurance card? And getting my license. And that was literally what took the most amount of time for me. And when I was at the checkout and it was like $79, I was like, all right, you know, this is an investment. This is nowhere near hundreds of dollars that I've spent, you know, I could have spent for a health coach or, you know, all these other different, you know, coaching services that are out there combined with, you know, therapy and nutrition and my doctor, all those different things. It said the promo code and I was like, oh my God, when I'm signing up for this, I think because I just was like, the time is now, this is the trifecta of services needed to help you and the next stage of your journey, that I was like, oh, wait a minute. I think I saw a video by somebody on YouTube talking about Mochihealth. Let me find it because I bet you she has a code. And I did. So I put the code in. So I got $40 off, which the reason I'm saying that is that I now have a code. And if you're thinking about signing up for something like this, where it's just, you're in this particular case where yes, they will counsel you. They could possibly talk to you about the GLP-1 medications in your particular situation. But for me, I don't need I don't need compounded tirzepatide for the near future. I have a decent stock of it. I need the guidance of what dose I really should be on, looking at my entire history, figuring out what next steps are in terms of, you know, possibly, you know, continuing to decrease with my ultimate goal of stopping this medication for a period of time. There's a lot of things that I feel like now I can talk to somebody about. And I am going to listen and respect their answer because they have the experience. They have worked with people just like me, not just a handful that you can count on one hand, 5 people like my doctor. We're talking about thousands and thousands of people that use this service. And so I feel like the confidence is there for me to learn and listen. And I can't believe it's taken me this long to do that. I've only been talking about this for ages, but you know, that's how I go. I debate things for too long and then I finally jump on them and think, why didn't I do it sooner? But I went ahead, I'm going to put in the description. I'll also put in the comment if you want to check them out. Also comment below if you're with them, what your experience is with them. I am just going to be using them for the Wellness Plus, the services side of things. Maybe down the road, we'll see where the compounded market takes us. But I don't need that right now, but they can offer that. They can give you some expert advice in that area if you want to talk to them. But at the end of the day, I felt as if, as much of a roller coaster of a week this was with all the ups and downs, from, you know, family news, remembering my why, thinking about goals, gaining 2 pounds, but also really sticking to, you know, working out every day in terms of I was walking every day and the 4 strength training sessions. I'm there. I'm on the cusp of getting where I need to be. I think Mochihealth will be able to get me to that next level. With the support that I feel like they're going to provide me. But yeah, that's where this is kind of where I wanted to go with the video. I really wanted to spend a little bit of time because I think it's important that, you know, sometimes I give a little bit more of the personal side. And, you know, not everybody is just trying to get on these medications for vanity reasons. That in my particular case, I truly needed the help to get me to where I am now. I put in a lot of work. I surrounded myself with a lot of people. And now I'm in that next stage where I need those experts. I need to really figure out with the therapy and the registered dietitian just how to repair my relationship with food better and also just structure my meals a little bit better. I'm going to do a couple little things this week. I'll show you in the next video or the video after. I have a really good plan. I just need to find ways to stick to it. But I want to wrap up this video here. I did not expect myself to talk for, what am I at, 17 minutes? I'm so sorry. I've said it in another video, I like to talk, so when I start talking, I really start to ramble, and I apologize for that. I hope you found this video helpful, and just realize that, you know, I'm probably in a lot of the same situation as you. Yes, if you're just starting, you know, or you're midway through, or you're at the point as me, like we're going to go through, you know, the highs and lows of a weight loss journey, and we just need to keep remembering what our why is. And this was a stark reminder of it. And I've already, you know, feel refreshed and ready to take on the next week in terms of just putting my focus more on what I'm eating, and then just gradually having the conversation soon with the Mochihealth team in regards to just their nutrition coaching and just the specialists as a whole. So thank you so much for making it this far in this video. I will see you in the next one. Bye.